Good morning, Pisces folks. Here is our tarot reading for Leo season. And yes, I am pretty late on this, but we still have a few weeks left. So let's go ahead and pull you guys some cards. Now you guys currently have the retrogrades, Saturn and Neptune happening in your sign. So I'm sure you're seeing a lot of things very clearly, dealing with some karma stuff, whether good or bad. So let's kind of dig into that and see what we have for the next few weeks for you guys. What can you expect as a whole for Leo season? We have Three of Swords and Five of Cups. So this is a heartache and regret here. So this is likely some kind of loss or something very hurtful that happens that you maybe have a lot of regret about. Hold on one second. Okay, yeah, so Leo season as a whole, a lot of heartache, some loss, some regret about this heartache. You may feel like you potentially play some type of role in this, something that you've done or said may have played a role in it. Definitely, I mean, these retrogrades in your guys' sign, so they've already been there for a little bit. And I know it's been hard for a lot of y'all because I have a lot of Pisces folks around me. But definitely Leo seasons is not any better than what we've been through so far. Especially because there's going to be some aspects that happen to Saturn during this time period that's really going to shake some things up for you guys a bit. So what is something unexpected for Pisces during Leo season now? Check that out. It's actually a good one, a little bit of celebration here, okay? So look for those wins, look for the celebration, look for, I don't necessarily want to say reconciliation, but that is a word that popped in my mind. So what's going to happen is there's going to be a Mars-Jupiter conjunction. It happened in Gemini that is going to square off with Saturn retrograde. So really this is like something happens that might be stressful, it might be hard, it might be sad and depressing, but it's also beneficial, it's also kind of fun. So definitely look for that moment of celebration that might come up during this time. How to stay grounded. How can Pisces stay grounded during Leo season? We got, oh, that's a little too much. I don't like taking whole handfuls. Let's just do one card, please. Nine of Wands. Make sure that you are practicing strong boundaries. Pisces is a sign that is boundaryless. And one of the hardest things I think for Pisces to learn is having boundaries. And that is emotional boundaries, spiritual boundaries, and just boundaries in general with other people. Especially when we're at the Nine of Wands, you've already been through the battle once. And you're needing to kind of almost defend yourself from the next battle that's coming, right? So you may already be feeling a bit beat down, exhausted, and you need to make sure that you've got those good guards up, you've got those good boundaries up, so that when that battle comes back around again, you're already prepared and you've got some protection for yourself. Okay. An important emotion for Pisces: the Devil and the Star. Ooh, I actually kind of like this. So the Devil, a lot of times people look at it as a bad thing, but in this particular position and showing up with the Star here, this is telling me that you're learning how to take control of things. You're learning how to pull the strings rather than other people pulling your strings, okay? And the Star it's hope, it's healing. So having these good boundaries and learning how to take control of the situation, it does bring this like beacon of hope for you to be able to like see the light at the end of the tunnel. Anytime that a Pisces finally learns how to have those boundaries and how to take control in a good way, obviously, don't lean into the shady crap that can sometimes happen, but like in that good way, there's so much reward involved in that. There's a lot of love and compassion that comes from that. So really having those boundaries, learning how to take control, is absolutely going to help you push forward with more hope and healing for the future. Let's see. What is something that will inspire transpire, Pisces, during Leo season? Gosh, you guys are getting whole handfuls coming out too. The Empress and Nine of Pentacles. So something that you've been working on is growing. Something is coming to fruition. Okay, don't allow whatever this overall like heartache and regret that's there overshadow the good stuff that's coming in, because there is a lot coming in for you, a lot of rewards coming in for you, because when Saturn is retrograde, it is karma. It is handing out karma, but karma sometimes is good. Sometimes it's rewards. It's all about whether or not you yourself are using Pisces energy in that more positive way. And when you are using it in that compassionate and empathetic way, but you're maintaining those boundaries that you need to maintain so that other people aren't walking all over you, you'll find that you're getting a lot of karmic rewards, right? So the work that you've put in is growing. You are starting to see this abundance. You are starting to see that light at the end of the tunnel, despite the fact that there's kind of like this overshadowing of regret and heartache over top of everything here. Oftentimes you've got to let go of that old stuff to let the new stuff come in, and that could be a lot of what's happening here, is having those boundaries to the point where you had to remove people from your life, or places or things or situations that may have been hurtful and may have been hard, and you may regret it, not necessarily regret it, but kind of constantly go over it in your mind. But that's what was necessary. That was what was needed in order for you to make these gains and gain control of your own life, okay? So, Spirit guides speaking to Pisces, we have King of Cups. So, this could be another person or it could be you, but King of Cups is like, it's that warm, loving, compassionate, empathetic dad that always has the best advice, right? So, yeah, there's a lot of empathy, there's a lot of compassion, but there's also a lot of maturity here. So if you find that there's somebody in your life that matches that description, listen to what they have to say, because it's like your spirit guides are speaking to you through this person. But it could also be you speaking to other people in the same way that is giving you messages as well. So kind of keep that in mind as you're kind of communicating with people around you. And how to support yourself. Well, Three of Wands. Allow the good things to come in, okay? I'm going to pick up a Pisces stereotype here. Look at this. 10 of Wands on the bottom. So there is some kind of painful ending that happened that is pushing all of this. It's feeding all of this, okay? Now, one of those Pisces stereotype that I've seen many a times is the almost victim complex, murder complex type of thing that happens, where these endings happen, this regret happens, this heartache happens, to the point where you'll close down and convince yourself that you don't deserve the good things coming in, or that you're not willing to accept it because you've gotten stuck in oh poor me mode, okay? Make sure you're not doing that. Make sure that you are understanding that those boundaries were necessary. Cutting people or situations out of your life was necessary, and doing so is bringing you these karmic rewards, right? Don't block your own rewards because of the sadness that it took to get there. So just really kind of keep that in mind as you're going through the rest of this Leo season. So let's do some clarifiers for the Three of Swords and the Five of Cups. Three of Swords and Five of Cups. Oop. We have King of Pentacles. Stood on business here. Three of Pentacles, Knight of Swords, spoke up for yourself. And one more, please. Kind of giving me that whole, you finally found your voice, you finally found your boundaries, and you stood up for yourself, and someone didn't like it, and it created a situation, and now you're kind of blaming yourself even though you did the right thing, kind of thing. One more, please. And Seven of Cups. Yeah. So it's like there was somebody or a situation or something in your life that was causing you a lot of confusion. Maybe you had a lot of stuff on your plate, and like this thing was just one thing too many, and you stood your ground and you said what you had to say. You had your boundaries good and strong, and you stood up for yourself. And you got Ace of Wands on the bottom because you had something that you needed to do for yourself. You had something you were passionate about that you needed to do for yourself. And it did create a hurtful situation. But it was a hurtful situation that needed to happen for your own good, okay? So don't beat yourself up over it. Don't think that you did something wrong in standing up for yourself. Don't allow other people to gaslight you into believing that either. You did the right thing, and now you're going to receive the rewards for that. Okay, let's see. What is influencing Pisces for Leo season? What is influencing Pisces during Leo season? Oh, the path. So you've made the choice to follow your path, right? So this is what's pushing you forward, and all of this is you have a path for you to follow. Pisces is a very divinely guided sign, right? It is the sign that is most closely related to things like blind faith, right? So it's very spiritual, and you have a path that you are being told you need to follow, okay? And that is what is pushing all of this forward, okay? What is the advice for Pisces? Surrender. Yeah, surrender. Let go and let God, right? Don't beat yourself up for things. Don't beat yourself up for standing your ground. It's okay to be hurt. I mean, I'll always say it is perfectly acceptable to be upset about upsetting situations, okay? That doesn't mean that you need to blame yourself for the situation. You can still feel the feelings. You can still be upset about it, but don't blame yourself for standing up for yourself, okay? And on the bottom, what is kind of fueling this, letting go and letting God and trusting the universe type of energy here is fear. Sometimes it does. It takes fear to get us to snap out of it and realize that we have to let the process happen. We have to trust the process. Sometimes we have to go through that fear and try to do all the things to control everything before we realize that we cannot do that we have to make the decision to move forward and let whatever's going to happen. So I hope that is helpful.